So one thing I've been exploring as hearing voices is um, I've been trying to identify, where this energy comes from. And one thing I'm aware of is that while I started to hear voices, there were parts of me that were suppressed. And I've been talking to my friend about this, and the suppression is possibly related to the origin of these voices. The nature of these voices is a facet of myself, suppressed, not expressed, and it's been consistent in throughout all of the energy, and I'll describe it as energy. With my voices, it's like demon possession. It might be demonic possession. I mean, psychologically, it feels like the same thing that's impacting and affecting my psyche as demon possession. And I have a Catholic background. I've been a believer all my life, and in my world, it comes with the territory. There's a possibility of demonic possession. There's a possibility of, things affecting parts of myself suppressed to the extent of a manifestation of a cry for help. And I feel like it's a natural. I feel like it's an organic reality, a natural realm of this is being cut off. No, it's not. Now there's a voice in your head. Because one of the things was with Mary, she tries to possess my body and create the nature of a woman in my expression. She does this. She's a maniac about this. She's all about, oh, you're a woman. And, I don't feel like I was born mistakenly as a man. I don't really subscribe to an eagerness to find a different identity through a different gender in myself. I feel straight. I've been straight all my life. And, in myself considering homosexuality, it's not a desire for me. It's a calm reality that it would be possible that I would prefer the company of men over the company of women, but I don't. I do prefer the company of women, and it makes me happy. That's how I know, because thinking about being with a woman and I'm excited, thinking about being with a man and I'm bored. If I'm honest, which a lot of people aren't, considering the nature of the romance from man to man, it just seems to me there's less depth and less meaning. And maybe that's just because I'm not gay and I'm straight, but I've considered it, and Mary seems to be in the know of my sexuality because I have a tendency to be aggressive with people that sexually exploit women. And it feels good to pretend I'm gay and exploit these men that think, oh yeah, I know how the world works. You just exploit your woman, you get what you want. Oh, I'm a man. And no, you're not. A man does what needs to be done. He has emotional fortitude and strength to take care of a woman where she's vulnerable. That's the nature of the beast. That's the animal. Emotional fortitude, strength. These are the ingredients that make a man. And it's not natures of exploitation. That's just from insecure men that think, oh, I have man parts. I need to make people feel weak so I don't feel weak. No. You don't need to do that. You can, and you do. And that's what triggers me to exploit these men that are sexually abusive in my atmosphere, ruining my day, changing my atmosphere to the tone of, well, the men can, so they should. Okay, well, guess what I can do? And guess what you should do right now is you should subscribe to my train of thought. You're not going to force anyone else's train of thought to be a victim. I'm going to force you to be transparent of your insecurities. And we're going to play a little game called Laugh at the Insecure Bully Man. All of us are going to play. And if you don't subscribe to my train of thought, like you wanted me to subscribe to your train of thought, then you're the outsider now. I don't like it at all. It's in my bones. I resist it. And it drives me insane. It drives me mad. And I moved back to Johnson County from the inner city of Denver, where I was living on the streets. And let me get this. No, it's fine this way. And I was being a tough guy that's proven, I'm not scared of anything in Johnson County, where everything's gumdrops and lollipops. And so I started a gumdrop lollipop diet, and it doesn't involve intimidation of those that prey on the weak. It just involves grace. It just involves humility. And everything's sunshine over here. If I could just, when in Rome, take part in what society's livelihood is in Johnson County, which is, there's a pleasantness in the air. I mean, a lot of people have money and they're comfortable in their amount of money that they have. But there's also a civility that's present in society. These people are happy to interact with each other. And they'll interact with me, a little nobody man, as long as we're all talking about a good day in a graceful, humble manner. And that's what I should focus on. So I'm suppressing my sexuality of, maybe I do have a sexual problem. And Mary's manifesting. And it hasn't turned into anything. I'm not out preying on anyone. But sometimes I'm afraid that there's a monster inside of me that's just trying to get out. And, I'm trying to suppress this monster. And instead, I should express my strife, my tendency to suppress, my rage. I mean, it's all rage. I mean, I want to be on top. They all tell me they're on top of me. Adam just sits up there like I'm trying to sit up there. I was trying to sit on the top of the food chain. Now I'm suppressing that. I was exploiting men the way that they would exploit women, as if I was a gay man. Enter in Mary. And I've been trying to be honest and suppressing my tendencies of just, your self-desire to get what you want and just to get there, just to gain what can be gained. And I've been suppressing these notions in an effort to maintain honesty throughout everything. And what my friend was saying was, you've made these efforts to survive. And in your efforts to survive, you've suppressed the realities of yourself. You've suppressed your own personal, I can't thrive anymore. I don't thrive in a group of people now that I hear voices. And I'm very reclusive and secluded to myself. And I don't care about, I haven't cared about a lot of things for a long time. But it doesn't faze me. It just goes with the territory. And it perpetuates the conflict that I have internally with these voices. And as I make life decisions that lead me down the wrong path, the voices get stronger. And see, I'm twitching now because it's difficult. It's difficult to express myself in a healthy manner that leads to my spirit thriving within the community that I live in, within my domain of community, and I make an effort to thrive with them. But when I was surviving in Denver, I was a different man than I want to be in Johnson County. So I think suppression is playing a role, psychologically in the nature of these voices. Just a second. There we go. I don't want to talk about it around people. I don't, because it's just a matter. Oh, they're looking at me. Great. But I don't want to talk about it around people. It seems so disruptive to me. Hey, what's going on? Oh, I'm possessed by demons, maybe. I'm going crazy right now. I have PTSD. I need your validation, and you don't even know me. And now I'm going to go argue at things that aren't really there and yell my lungs out. And it's just not part of thriving in your society, in your community. And that's what I want to do. Thankfully, I have the discernment, the wisdom, the wherewithal, the knowledge to recognize my shortcomings now. And I praise God for that. He's been my rock, a pillar of wisdom, that there's always this light shining of wisdom in my life. It feels great, but in order to analyze my problems, I need to start being honest and transparent about what's inside of me, like these prayers. And it's just not it's not good for me to interact with society with this conflict going on. And with my one friend, we've identified the nature of suppressed energies manifesting in voices in my head. And they are consistent to these suppressions of these energies, these trains of thought, these modes of operation. And, so I think that might be a part of it. And I'm having all things considered, I'm having good days, I'm making progress on peace, calmness. I find it's best to be calm with the voices, and I had a person tell me about that. If it's demonic and you're calm, you're winning. And so it's super difficult, but I feel like I'm on the right path to making progress in a good direction. And who knows, maybe I'll help my schizophrenic friends out with their schizophrenia, with their voices. Maybe they'll learn something from my efforts, but I'm desperate to be a working man, and I can't be. So, but it's difficult, and I'm working on it, so I'll make some more videos probably.